Touch that dial. All right, let's time. Right now, we should do the daily debate, guys. We kind of do a poll every day here on MMA Junkie, and then the radio team dives a little bit further into it. So I'm going to let Dan and Goes do a little bit more of it today. I'll just kind of quarterback it. Here's the question, guys. Are you satisfied with Jon Jones and Tyron Woodley's respective matchups against Anthony Smith and Kamaru Usman at UFC 235? Or like the geeks like to say, hashtag UFC 235. Here are your choices, guys. Yes, both make sense. No, neither makes sense. Only Jones versus Smith, or only Woodley versus Usman. Again, what is your level of satisfaction? You go first, Dan Tom.
You know, I like that we added these specific options in there. Shouts to everybody on that. But I will say, I will go with the third option. I believe it was only Jones versus Smith. I like keeping the light heavyweight champ busy. Jones, has some ground to make up. He's been pretty inactive. I like Anthony Smith, so I really don't like it. Don't dislike it on either equation for that matchup. But Woodley, Kamaru Usman, very, very deserving of a title shot. But it's hard, for me to swallow the guy with the belt kind of getting skipped over in Colby Covington, who, say what you will, was an interim title, but the UFC awarded it to him, set him up to win it, and I was really hoping, to see that match of him, Colby Covington, and Tyron really kind of come together. But I get it, the choo-choo train has to keep moving, but my honest answer is the number 3 choice there, only Jones and Smith.
You feeling him, Goes, or you got another opinion?
I got another opinion. I am feeling what he's saying, but here's my other opinion. I'm going to say they both make sense. And this is 2019 Goes speaking right now. I'm going to say they both make sense because they're both going to make money. The UFC is going to be happy. The casual fan's going to buy the ticket. They're going to show up. They're going to say, yay, this is a great pay-per-view. It's the hardcore fan that's really pissed off. Does it make sense for the UFC? Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But should it be that way? No, it shouldn't. Colby Covington should have got that spot because that's the way it makes sense. The same way it makes sense right now for Jon Jones and Anthony Smith. It should have been that way for the other fight, but it isn't. There's no consistency. But it makes sense for what they're trying to do.
All right. Let me tell you how the results came out.
Okay.
39% said yes, both make sense. In second place, 29% said only Jones versus Smith. I also voted for that one. That was the third option. The second one was no, neither makes sense. 20% said that. What were they thinking?
You can't make those
people happy. They must be thinking Jones versus DC and Colby versus Woodley, I guess. And then 12% are saying only Woodley versus Usman. So 12% had a problem on the Jones-Smith booking.
There's no scenario where none of us don't order the pay-per-view, though.
That's
we
true.
all order it anyway. They got us.
Yeah.
That's true. I will say this. It says, are you satisfied? So I guess that's why I just went with my honest answer of no, because I only mainly support one matchup. Not that I don't support, not that I won't watch. But I will say this, guys. If the question was, are you satisfied with putting both those matchups on UFC 235, then it would have been a home run for me, yes, on both of them, if that makes sense.
And did you see Corey Anderson? He was pretty active on Twitter.
Yeah, he was.
Saying, hey, that should have been me, not Smith. I beat the higher profile guys.
He did make a good argument for himself. I did see that.
Yeah.
He did, but a little too late. Right?
In beating...
No, a little too late to make that argument.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these
if
guys
you feel that way,
gals,
beat on that door every day.
A lot of these
until
guys
that announcement
are
gets
late
made.
to the party. By the time they really get burned, they feel like being the Curtis Blades went through the same thing. Yeah, man, whatever the UFC wants. And then all of a sudden you start getting trampled over, and then all of a sudden you get. But guess what? MMA Junkie Radio was telling you 5 years ago: start making noise, call your shots, say something, anything.
But even we don't make sense because Colby Covington did that, and it still didn't work out in his favor.
Well,
what do we do? What are we doing here?
Yeah. Point counterpoint here, yeah.
1,561 people voted. Thank you for all you that represent Junkie Nation, the readers of the site, the listeners of the show. And that's our daily debate brought to you by the MMA Junkie Radio team.